Welcome to the NSIC Student Athlete Advisory Committee Spotlight. I'm your host, Nick Kornder, Assistant Commissioner for Media Relations at the Northern Sun. This fall, we will spotlight an NSIC fall sports student athlete from each of our 16 institutions. And this week, we are joined by Bemidji State's Ty Guden. Ty, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thanks for having me on, Nick.
All right, so we start each show with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
So, like you said, my name's Ty Guden. I play football at Bemidji State. I'm from Edgar, Wisconsin, and I'm majoring in biochemistry and molecular biology.
All right, before we get into a little more football talk, let's talk about the Student Athlete Advisory Committee up at Bemidji State. You are a member. How did you get involved, and what are some of your initiatives for this fall?
So last year, towards the end of my freshman year, some of the older senior guys on the football team approached me about possibly joining the club, and I went to the first meeting, and I just kind of fell in love with what they were doing up here, and I thought it was a really good thing to be a part of. So I joined, and this fall we had a few initiatives this fall. Our big one was making sure that all the athletes on campus were registered to vote, and I think we were just about at 100% for the student athletes registered to vote this fall. So that was a great thing for us to have. We also had mental health and suicide prevention awareness talks and stuff that were definitely helpful this year for a lot of people.
Outstanding. Some great initiatives up there in Bemidji. COVID has affected everyone differently. How's it affected you so far as a student athlete?
It's just really, it's like we don't really know what's our next week is going to bring. So we're just rolling with the punches, trying to stay positive as much as we can, and just like I said, roll with the punches because we don't know what we got going on the next week.
The cancellation of fall competition. Give us an update what Bemidji State football's been up to this fall.
So we've been lifting pretty heavy this fall, and we also got a few practices in. We had a 10-day period where we did full practices, full pads. So it was nice to get a little hitting and stuff in. But right now we're doing just position group work, drills, stuff like that in our indoor facility. So it's still nice to get moving around a little bit. All
right, and what position are you playing this year?
Linebacker.
Linebacker, right? And you redshirted last year, so your first year competition's been taken away. You should have been out in the field this fall. How have you been staying positive and keeping your other teammates positive in this time?
We're just really looking forward to seeing what the spring's going to bring. I know there's talk that we might get a few games, scrimmages in the spring, so I think we're just staying positive for that sake.
Excellent. So you grew up in Edgar, Wisconsin. That's central Wisconsin. What was it that drew you to Bemidji State University?
So I was recruited by a couple NSIC teams, took visits to a bunch of different places. But when I came and visited Bemidji like 3 or 4 times, I think, and every time I came up here, I fell more in love with it. The community, the campus is amazing right on the lake. I can't get really much better than that.
So you haven't been able to play in an NSIC contest yet, but you have been obviously part of the NSIC in 2019. What are some of the best attributes you see as part of the NSIC and being part of NCAA Division II?
I think the NSIC does a great job supporting all of its members, and it's great to see that a lot of the teams, no matter what sport it is, they're in the top in the nation. A lot of our teams are always up in the top nationwide, so it's good to see.
All right, so you were a linebacker in high school. You finished your career second all-time at Edgar High School with 308 tackles. You were class valedictorian with a 4.0 grade point average. But other than that, what are some of your hidden talents or something people may not know about you?
I don't really got many hidden talents, but I definitely love ice fishing. That's one of the things that brought me up here too, being on the lakes all up here. Can't get any better than that.
So do you go out with just the bucket? Do you have one of the clam portable fish houses? What do you do?
Yeah, I got some good gear. We got a couple portable fish houses. Go out with the buddies on the weekends and catch us some good fish. So that's a fun time.
All right. I assume you pan fry them up, or?
Yep. We clean them and cook them up all the time. So.
What's your favorite fish to eat and catch?
Probably walleye for sure.
There you go. All right, long time ago, I used to go to Mille Lacs with my grandpa, walleye fishing up there. So always a great time and a good eat. We got your hidden talents. You're a redshirt freshman, so you got a lot of college left ahead of you to be a sophomore year this year. What are your plans post-college, though?
I'm thinking about applying to med school and continuing my education there, and hopefully becoming a doctor after that.
Doctor, outstanding. Any specific field of medicine?
Orthopedic.
Orthopedics. Excellent. All right. So that brings us to our rapid fire Q&A. I got about 10 questions here. You ready for these?
All right, let's go.
All right. Do you have any pregame rituals?
I like to always stretch out, do a little bit of yoga before the games, and listen to music.
Most used social media app?
Probably Twitter.
Dream profession?
Being a team physician for an NFL team.
NFL. All right. What NFL team?
Any, honestly, any, it doesn't matter. But I'm a big Green Bay Packers fan, obviously from Wisconsin. So
that's what I figured that was going to be your answer. But all right. Who has influenced you the most in your time at Bemidji State so far?
Definitely the coaches. Our strength coach, Coach Charles, does a great job, and just seeing how much he cares about getting all of his athletes better and progressing them to be the best that they can be definitely has an impact on me and all the athletes here.
If you didn't play football at Bemidji State, what is another sport you would compete in?
In high school, I ran track and wrestled, so I would probably say I would have tried to wrestle somewhere.
Wrestle somewhere. All right. Not professional ice fishing?
No.
Favorite TV show?
Probably Criminal Minds.
Okay. Your favorite SAAC activity or initiative?
Last year when we did the Mr. Beaver competition fundraiser, that was a great time.
So a little more, is that a talent show or what is that?
It was kind of like, I think it was two guys from each of the men's teams got picked, and it was kind of a talent show. They had certain acts they did dancing, music, singing, a bunch of stuff like that. And then at the end, we raised a bunch of money to buy a really nice wheelchair for one of the disabled kids.
That's right. I remember that initiative. That was a great job by you guys up there. Your favorite movie?
Probably Remember the Titans.
Your best sports memory in which you were competing?
Definitely last year's homecoming win over Augustana. That was definitely one I won't forget.
And I assume you jumped in the lake afterwards?
Oh yeah.
Did that draw you at all when you saw that tradition there? Was that something
I was surprised when they said they did that, and I was like, that's got to be such a fun time. And it was cold, but it was definitely a blast.
All right, and the last one, in just a few words, what advice would you give yourself if you could go back and talk to yourself before you entered college?
Probably just to relax. Don't stress out about stuff. I mean, college, you're on your own. Like, you got to figure stuff out on your own, but don't stress about nothing. All
right, well, great advice to give yourself back then and still today. I know that's one of the big things, mental health and being stressed, especially in this time of COVID. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Best of luck to you the rest of the fall. That'll wrap up this week's NSIC Student Athlete Advisory Committee Spotlight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me on.